Who stood out at Bears rookie minicamp? Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, and the Chicago Bears are building something dangerous. And the NFC may not be ready for what's coming next.
And that is your guy, Caleb Williams in Chicago. He and Ben Johnson cooked last year. Ben Johnson saying all the right things. He's coming in, puffing his chest out just a little bit, and he's a big culture guy. Here's Ben Johnson.
The expectation for them is to, once again, learn our way of doing things, how we go about our business in the meeting room, walk through practice field, what that looks like. And as soon as they pick that up, then they'll really be able to compete for what is their niche this year. How can they provide value for this football team? Is it special teams? Is it competing for playing time on offense or defense? That's really up to them. But learning our way of life is first and foremost.
Very exciting times in Chicago.
Yeah. Bulls get the 4th pick. Ben Johnson's genius. Caleb Williams is on the MVP ascension. How are the Blackhawks doing, by the way? No, I don't know about hockey, but I don't know. In all honesty, I'm bullish on the Bears this year. Yeah. I like what I see. I like the kid from Oregon they brought in the draft.
Safety.
Yep. Very good young player. I think they win the division, Colin. I don't know. Other than the Packers, I don't think anyone can challenge them. Sorry,
I have the Bears winning it, Lions the wild card, and I think Green Bay and Minnesota are going to battle for 3rd, and I think it's going to be really interesting when Kyler Murray puts up. Did you see they got Jennings from the Niners over the week?
Yeah, I saw that. That was a nice get for J.J. McCarthy. I love the game we play, and I think the audience likes it when we do like who's got the better roster. If you did rosters in the NFC, what Ben Johnson and company have done in just a couple years, they have a vastly superior roster than the Niners. Okay? If we're being completely honest.
Oh, yeah. No.
I think it's Rams 1, Bears 2, Eagles 3 in the NFC. In terms of rosters.
I think Seattle's up there.
Seattle's up there. I lost a couple guys. What's a running back situation like there? Kenneth Walker gone. I don't know. I'm bullish on your Bears. It could mean you're a little insufferable this fall. I'm just a little nervous about
a little
Bears being
Cubs on a heater.
It's been a blessing for the most part, just getting to know teammates, creating relationships with guys I'm finna be going to war with. It's been a blessing for sure.
The experience has been well these last few days. Just learning a playbook, getting to know my coaches, learning a little bit about the Bears, history, and all of that type of stuff. So it's been great.
The biggest thing was just the amount of effort the coaches poured into everybody, not just the drafted guys, but also guys that are just here for tryouts. It's really a blessing to have a coaching staff that puts in that much effort to all the guys.
It's been awesome. This is your dream since you're a young kid. So every single day is a blessing, and I've just been fired up every single day for it.
An eventful weekend at Hallis Hall. Clay, you were there all weekend long as the rookies took the field for the first time. A lot of undrafted guys, some tryouts as well. Who had the best weekend from your vantage point?
David, what position am I going to talk about
tight
first?
End.
The tight end. I'm talking about my guy, Sam Roush, right? So when a guy like him comes in, if I'm in a competition, I see a rookie come in, I think this guy's 6'7", 270 pounds. This guy's going to be stiff as a board, just a straight blocking tight end. That's not him at all. He can run. He's explosive. His 38.5 vertical showed up on tape. His 10.6 broad jump showed up on tape. His 4.7 40 showed up on the field. So everything that you saw from those explosive numbers, they showed up. And the best thing was he had some drop questions in college. He caught the ball well. He's a natural hands catcher, transitions well from the catch to the run, and that's everything you wanted to see.
If you're right, and Hayden Large is added to that group, the guy who Ben Johnson called personally, the undrafted free agent from Iowa, the Bears will go into next season feeling like they have the best tight end room in the NFL. Because you already have 2 guys established. You add a 3rd-round draft pick in Roush, and you're feeling very good about a position that's important in Ben Johnson's offense. I think Logan Jones was the one who is the center from Iowa who made the best impression. And you look at him as a 2nd-round pick, we're all kind of waiting for the proclamation, the promotion, the news that everyone expects to be made official. He doesn't have to make it official. But Logan Jones made an impression with his maturity. I think now he gets a chance to learn the offense. And today, when they mix with the veterans, That's important for his relationship and chemistry with Caleb Williams.
It's really interesting to think about both of those guys intermixing with the veterans. You think about Logan Jones getting to meet Garrett Bradbury, and obviously someone that he's going to want to stay close to and learn from, but also know that he's going to compete up against him when training camp begins. And then Clay, you talk about that tight end room. You think about this group maybe carrying 4 active tight ends if they do in fact fall in love with Hayden Large the way Ben Johnson talked about potentially doing so. You know a lot about being in a 4 tight end room, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're going to be a 4th tight end, and obviously Hayden Large is a guy that they targeted early in the draft, David talked about. Ben called him before the draft. Then they draft a 3rd-round tight end. Usually what that means, you're not going to go there for an undrafted free agent because you know it's a tough room. But for Hayden Large to make the team, I've been a 4th tight end before, you got to be able to be versatile. You got to play wing, you got to play fullback, you got to be the personal protector on punt, you got to run down on punt return, you got to do everything, kickoff return. Your value comes in special teams and being able to do a lot of different things like fullback. Ben Johnson, you don't think he wants a fullback? He wants every position.
Ben wants everything on offense. More, and extra, as they say. Let's move on to our second down of this opening drive. Transition our conversation a little bit to the wide receiver room. And as we get to know Xavier Thomas and Scotty Miller.
I think the first thing that leaps off the tape is the speed element that he brings. Obviously we know he's a dynamic returner. He's got a variety of experiences, though, when you look through his college career, lining up at running back, taking handoffs from the backfield, obviously being out on the edge, playing inside the numbers. You see the speed and you see the complementary aspect of what he could potentially be with our group.
You scored out 4 different ways at LSU. So talk about your versatility and just do you have a different mindset for each role that you play on the field?
No, sir. I have the same mindset, and that's just put the team in the best position to win. So that's my goal, whether I'm getting the ball on punt return, kick return, running back, outside receiver, slot receiver. It's the same mentality.
You get to hear from all these players for the first time a lot of times, really in person. Some of them we got to know on Zoom a bit, but you hear them and they all just seem like, Ben Johnson, we got a taste of the Ben Johnson flavor last draft class.
Just wait.
These guys are all Ben Johnson guys that love football, the ultimate professionals. They all seem incredibly mature. You talk about Xavier Thomas, David, they also signed your guy over the weekend. And Scotty Miller, I know you were really rooting for that.
I think it makes sense in their offense because he's a guy that Antoine Randall knows well from the days in Tampa they shared together, and they were on a championship team. So I think you understand what a guy can be in terms of lend his experience to the room, also dependable as a receiver. That said, when you wonder if his contributions will be greater than Xavier Thomas, it's a fair question, but it's got to be Xavier Thomas. You drafted him in the 3rd round. He's got to be a contributor in the special teams, and he's got to provide your offense that deep threat that it lacked, frankly, last year. The Bears did a lot of things well offensively in the passing game, but they really didn't have the guy that took the top off the defense, as they say, and now they have that.
Clay, who do you think is more important to the 2026 season, Xavier Thomas or Scotty Miller?
Xavier Thomas, no question. The only reason I picked Sam Roush at first because I'm biased and I'm a tight end. But Xavier Thomas impressed me just as much as anybody. You saw the 4.28. He's not just a track guy. He's a football 4.28. He can run. The speed showed up on the field, and that's what you want to see. Acceleration, his stopping, his deceleration, getting it out of break. But what impressed me the most, his ball skills. A lot of times you see these speedsters, they don't catch the ball well. They're catching it with their body. They're bobbling it. He is a natural hands catcher and then tracking punts and kickoffs. This guy was tracking them. They have a drill to where they line up with their back to the kickoff and the punt machine. He would turn around at the last second and catch these things clean. He's not going to be just a gadget guy. If he can pick up this offense, big if, I think he will get some offensive tick.
But don't diminish what Miller's role could be, because last year, Olamide Zaccheaus came into the offense. You wonder, well, where does he fit? He ended up being a guy, even though the drops, he was a very dependable receiver at times. Scotty Miller can fill that void if necessary.
Yeah, and the reason I like Scotty Miller is people think they see his size and they think he's a slot receiver. He plays more outside than he does in the slot.
He's speedy.
He's speedy, and he can play both. And the thing he's going to bring is showing these young receivers how to survive in an NFL wide receiver room, because that is something he has done year in and year out.
And he had the catch of the weekend that you and I saw with our own eyes on Friday. One-handed. Down the sideline.
Down the field. Pass interference, too. We call that an and one in basketball.
Let's go to our third down of this opening drive. Switch to the defensive side of the ball a little bit and hear from Dennis Allen.
We had a lot of discussions, this offseason about a lot of different things. And one of the things that we identified was, me. We focused so much on installing all the scheme last year. Because it was brand new, and we do have a high volume of things that we carry in the defense. And we focused so much on that we lost some of the lost sight of some of the fundamentals and techniques that it takes to function, to do those things. And I don't think we were as fundamentally sound defensively as we need to be.
Open-ended here, guys. Just want to get your reaction to what he said there.
That was welcome but uncomfortable. It felt like he was reading his job review written by Ben Johnson, because Ben Johnson was very open about needing to coach better. And Dennis Allen was very honest about him needing to do just that. I don't really buy it, though, Clay. I think, obviously, that goes without saying, number one, that you need to coach better every year if you're an assistant or a coordinator. Number two, I don't think the Bears can just rely on fundamentals and voila, their defensive line is going to be able to get to the quarterback and stop the run. Grady Jarrett has to work on his fundamentals? I don't think so. He's 32 years old. What is he going to do better at? Maybe you're talking about Austin Booker. Maybe you're talking about specific young players. But I think it's more than that. I think if you have talent, it's amazing how little fundamentals matter.
So here's what I'm going to push back on. Year 2 in the system, things are going to come cleaner. That matters. That does matter. But you know who that matters for? Guys in the defensive backfield. The communication is so much more. When you're at fun pass rushing, you don't have to rely on that communication and set up more. You're a defensive end and edge rusher. Have I ever, in my playing days, turned on the tape and been scared saying, man, that's a very fundamentally sound defensive end? No.
That technique scares you.
That technique scares me. What scares me is a guy that's got bend, that's got juice, that's got an array of pass rush moves, and I go, wow, that's going to be a tough block. So for me, I get what he's trying to say, but I don't think that's going to have an impact on the pass rush.
To me, I just felt like it was Dennis Allen's moment to take accountability for some of the things that maybe he thinks he can do, which you'll never be able to say that Dennis Allen didn't take accountability. What I will say is that now you got to get the players and you got to get the talent. And if you don't take that next step, if you don't see that next step from the defense this year, it's going to be hard to look at Dennis Allen and say, well, he didn't change the way he was coaching.
Accountability is never out of style. At the same time, I thought he might take this approach. We're younger, we're speedier, we're more aggressive. This is a defense now that after one season, we can go to that next level because we have the guys who are able to do that.
Fundamentals matter. I've never seen a quarterback get hit because of a beautiful stance. I've seen him get hit because of bend, burst, explosiveness, and good pass rush moves.
I love it. Let's go to our fourth down of this opening drive. We are just a few days away from finding out the Bears' 2026 NFL schedule. We may be a little closer to finding out week 1 because it was revealed that the Giants and Cowboys are going to play each other opening week, which means the potential matchups for the defending Super Bowl champions Seahawks in their season opener, it's down to 4 options. It's the Bears, it's the Cardinals, it's the Chargers, it's the Chiefs, or it's the Patriots. You look at that and you say any other year it'd probably be the Chiefs, right? But maybe. Patrick Mahomes, well, we don't know. Is he going to be healthy? The Patriots, you don't want a Super Bowl rematch literally the first night.
Maybe you do. Maybe you do.
Maybe you really don't, though.
Okay, but
maybe you really don't because of everything that's going on.
Well, exactly, but that's what are you looking for? You're looking for the biggest ratings magnet. And if I'm scheduling an NFL game right now, it's Patriots and anybody. I'm just saying. That's the reality of it. Now, I hope it's the Bears Seahawks because you want to play the Seahawks in week 1 when they're at least prepared for you, when they might be getting things together, all those things. But if you are making clearly a ratings decision, this is a no-brainer.
I hear you. I think it's also a standpoint that you're going to have very similar ratings to the Bears playing.
Is he coaching?
And I also think, I also think that you don't necessarily, if you are the NFL, you don't necessarily want to draw attention, put your broadcasters in that situation. It's not what week 1 should be about.
Very good point.
And I think they like that the Bears, it's about the excitement. You put Caleb Williams on the graphic, for God's sake. Put him on opening night.
Where's a bigger media market than Chicago? Which team has more confidence? Which team has more excitement than the Chicago Bears, who are one play away from being that NFC Championship
You're
game
really
last
that naive? I mean, look, if you're making a football decision for the best of the league and you're protecting the shield, absolutely, you guys are 100% right. If you're trying to get a TV show that's going to get the biggest audience, Mike Vrabel and the Patriots will be the opponent.
Well, I think that's also turned into a bit of a what do you want to call it? A reality show? It's more than football now. You're getting a very different audience in there, too.
I didn't make the rules, but I know what they are.
We don't really do reality TV on this show.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
No, we don't. Sometimes we do. Anyways, real quick, guys, I think it'll be great if the Bears do get that opening night matchup. You play Wednesday. You basically get a bye week.
New offensive coordinator for the Seahawks, too. Get them when they're still learning the system.
Love it.
Yo, mic check 1 to 2, -1, -2. Game over for this video, folks. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to stay in the huddle for more. This is NFL Madness, bringing the heat and signing out.